It's my latest problem child. This is kind of an unbelievable story behind this car. Just some weird things about it. I just picked this up. A bit of a rescue mission. I actually don't know the fate of this car yet. I'm undecided. This is the saddest part right here. Big rusty hole. So the story is, this car got hit by a snowplow while it was parked on some country road up in the mountains of Utah. Totally mangled the front fender, did a job on the door, and the rear corner pretty far gone. And after that, it sat unrepaired and unused until vandals and wildlife had their way with it. Oh, here's the punchline of this story. This car was parked when it had only 7,270 miles on it. That is crazy. Like, the guy I just bought it from picked it up from supposedly the family of the original owner. And it looks like he tried to get it running. He dropped the tank. He changed these spark plug wires. This is not a leaky engine. I feel like the mileage could be legitimate and accurate, because normally an older 4AGE engine like this is going to have a lot of just oil leaks and stuff around the cam cover nuts and stuff like that. This thing doesn't look like it's ever leaked. I'll look down here to see, but the speedometer cable is hooked up for now. The possibility is somebody who owned it disconnected and drove the shit out of this car and then reconnected it to sell it, but it's not like they were going to get a lot of money for this car. It would have been kind of an ambitious fraud. Low mileage on that wheel. Low mileage on that wheel. Yeah, these wheels are not banged up or anything. The guy who sold it to me did just find some cheap tires to slap on it, so the tires are kind of new. Oh yeah, some of the center caps. All cracked up along the top of the dash. Good glove box lid still. Seat's a little dirty. Somebody didn't know how to take off the ashtray. Still has its leather on the shift knob, but it is done. Oh, I love this. Check out this old school Toyota cassette. It's been a while since I've seen one of these. I wonder if it works. I doubt it. Rusty seat belt, cracked mirror. I don't know if this has a window. Oh, it has no window. Steering wheel leather is gone. The seats have been exposed. This seat's been exposed to some weather since this window was smashed out. Seatbelt's totally faded. It still works. Somebody crowbarred the trunk open. This is kind of one of the bigger problems with the car right there. I don't know how long the trunk lid has been off the car, but it's possible that the ECU is toast because it's been possibly exposed. Lots of weird chips and dents. This is the weirdest thing. I don't know what this is. It almost looks like a dog was chewing on this. But somehow the C-pillar trim is not cracked. It's like rusted along here. The seal is all gone. It's in pretty good shape otherwise. This one feels a little loose on this end. This one has one crack here. Smashed out corner window. No rust in the arches. That's crazy. Another thing that makes it look like it's legitimately not moved in a really long time is the lichens and moss growing on it. Look at all this moss. That car's been sitting a long time. Yeah. Critters. Lots and lots of rodent shit. That's going to be a hard part to replace, I think, the sunroof shade. It's a bummer. I've parted out enough of these cars. I've sold a few sunroof shades. Never thought I would need one myself. I think it was the 85 model year did not have the strut brace. The guy I bought it from, he only owned it for a few weeks. And then he quickly decided his time would be better spent on his super cool V8 first generation 4Runner swap. Seems like a pretty low number. April of 85. So this is a legitimate 1985 model year. Like I said, I'm undecided on the fate of it. I think there's three pretty good possibilities. The easy solution for this car is going to be to part it out. Sell the parts. Don't try to recover the body. I think the best fate for this car would be to sell it to a racing team. If this engine is really in good condition still and is just cosmetic body damage, this thing would be a blast to drive still. No doubt about it. The final choice would be to do some, I wouldn't call it restoration, but at least replace some of these easily replaceable body panels. I've got a fender, I've got doors, I've got a windshield. Just getting this thing back on the road and then maybe selling it to a new owner would also be a pretty good fate for it. Eventually, somebody could find a repair panel or hire a good body shop that could fix that. Option number one, part it out. Option number two, find a race car team that needs an AW11. Option number three, get it into roadworthy beater status. Get some mismatched body panels on here and drag the shit out of it. That actually sounds like a lot of fun to me. I love a beater MR2. It's really fun having a really nice MR2, but man, you worry about it all the time. I've had like nightmares where I came out of club and somebody had like chainsawed my MR2 in half or something. I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't have those nightmares with a car like this. So I'm not qualified to do a full restoration on it. So that's option number 4. We'll see what happens. Either way, I probably will not keep this car. I have too many MR2s right now. So eventually, in one form or another, this car is going to be for sale. I've got a good feeling about this car running though, so we'll see. These are low mileage jack points, that's for sure. No wear, very little wear on the jack points. It's pretty clean in here. Fender's off. Looks like moisture and grime gave purchase to this moss growing in here. Sorry, moss. There's definitely like gravel up here, so that sort of indicates it was parked someplace where gravel was getting tossed up next to the side of the road. This actually is really promising. It doesn't look like there's any damage to the structure of the unit body, or the suspension looks like it's going to be unaffected by this. So at least for the front fender, it looks like just slap another fender on and it's done. That door is still solid. So this probably is all, or primarily superficial also. Doesn't look like the hinges were bent. I think I'll be able to just bolt another door on. Unfortunately, the only one I have with a window that cranks up right now is this red one. This smells as good as it looks. Remember that tub full of rat shit? I couldn't stand having the lid open because it stunk so bad. Cleaned out pretty well. The paint in here has like no rust. This is one of the things that would sort of confirm this is a very low mileage car. These usually get rusted out. These are almost always broken on a car this old, if they're even here. I feel better and better about this car the more I work on it. Another detail, there's hardly any mileage on that strike plate there. Trunk lid. I almost wonder if this was hit or if it just got bent when somebody was trying to pry the trunk open. I got a big mess to clean up, but pretty pleased with the progress I've made. The original hood is better than the spare hood that I have, so it's gonna stay on there until I can find a better one. That fender's pretty great though. It looks a lot more like an MR2 now than it did last week. Yeah, this thing's fast becoming a viable street car. Trunk lid makes a huge difference in how it looks. I actually am a big fan of the non-spoiler trunk lid. I like the more subdued look of these older MR2s without as much body cladding. Just kind of a preference. I love just the shape, the profile of this car, and the simple lines. Anyway, time to clean up.
How did we live without a hoist? Looks like an MR2. It's like clean, but also corroded because of the elements. Yeah.
So, like, the question is this legitimately a 7,000 mile car? I've never seen one of these intact in my life.
What's that?
This little,
Oh yeah.
what do they call those?
Like
An oscillator?
or something. Imagine all those things are gonna be like almost nowhere, right?
Yeah. Some rust under here, but I'm out. Looks like it's had an easy life. These are not very grimy, like these are normally just coated with oil and crud.
Yeah.
They don't look like they've been driven much. The transmission's a little dusty on the bottom, but no leaks. And really quite new looking. I've never seen transmission linkages as clean as that, that's for sure.
Let's see.
The shift linkages look brand new. All this stuff is super clean. That AC pump is super clean. Everything that's really sheltered is really clean looking.
Yeah.
Rats have chewed off some of this insulation. That's definitely chewed up. And this fiberglass firewall insulation must have been yummy to the rats. It's been chewed up.
Somebody used it to make them nice.
The rats chewed through the insulation on the O2 sensor wire. I hope it was yummy. Looks like an original fuel pump or fuel filter. No notches out of the pulley like there usually are. Oh, it's an adorable little anti-sway bar.
Oh my gosh. 1/4 inches?
Yeah.
1/4 inches?
Original exhaust. Yeah, those look like pretty new, original-ish brake pads.
Well, this is interesting. It still has the black paint.
Praying mantis nest in there.
See those blue?
Yeah.
The Toyota thing?
I don't know. I know there's who is it who sells blue brake pads, like the yellow and the blue? It's I can't remember the company.
IKEA. Come on, that's fun. I just wanted to see this. Great.
It's like a brand new pad.
Sumitomo. I don't know if that's ones I came with.
I don't either, but whatever they are, they don't have any miles on them.
Well, Scott, look at that thing. I'll bet you those are original.
That's Toyota's emblem right there.
Yeah.
Those are the original Toyota pads.
Still got like the yellow marking paint on it. That's really cool.
Crazy. This car. What a wild story. Saved one of them. Where'd the other? Yeah, I've got some of those.
One's better. One chalk circle.
Very little. That's legitimately low mileage right there.
Yeah.
A few spiders in there.
Up here in the front.
It's got a...
Oh yeah.
It looks like maybe that was somebody lifted it improperly though. That's like straight up, and it's also recent.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
like...
All bent up too.
Yeah, they probably just put a jack under this thing to take a look at it. It does look like it
looks like
scraped, like high centered somewhere. There's another bash.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if maybe once it was wrecked, somebody took it for an off-roading adventure.
Yeah, it could have been. It could. I mean, it was just out on the farm. This, I noticed this tow hook is a little mangled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, somebody had some fun in this car.
I never really did detail this back panel here. I noticed in a lot of the footage I've got, you can't really tell. This is a slice. This is not just a rusty bash. This is a big hole. So that is really wrecked. This is definitely the biggest problem on the body. You will have noticed in some of the footage that the fuel tank had been pulled out. It looks as though they parked it with a full tank of fuel, and it's full of just goo in there. I don't know if you can see. Anyway, this fuel tank may not be recoverable. I do have one right up there, but I might need that one for my silver car. So yeah, and the fuel pump and sender that came out of the tank is really goobed up, rusty. I don't know how much of it is rust and how much of it is just the tar from the evaporated fuel. But it doesn't look too hopeful. Fuel pump's not too hard to replace or find a replacement for. The fuel sender, I will try to recover this actually, as bad as it looks. These are very difficult to get your hands on a replacement. Because of the fuel tank was removed, that's why a lot of the interior stuff is actually removed. You noticed like the center cubby, this stuff, and the center armrest, all that stuff you have to pull out to drop the fuel tank. So that's sort of the explanation for that. The more I work on this car, the more encouraged I am about it. I feel like it's going to be a really fun car to drive again. Damn, it's freezing out here today. I'm going back inside. I've pulled out so many bees nests from this car. Yeah, look, another bee's nest. Check it out. There's another big bee's nest. It's like the fifth one. Ah, there's dead bees in here. So many bees nests. Another giant bees nest. Bees loved this car, as did some rodents. Oh, look at all those bees nests. I'm keeping score. This is what I took out today. I had a whole other pile the first night I worked on this car. Got some money. I can't remember if that's a silver dollar or a 50-cent piece. I haven't seen one since I was a kid. It's $1. Huh, wonder if that's worth anything.